A very, very warm good evening. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. It is April the 22nd, 2025, a Tuesday, and I hope everybody is fine. Sorry, I'm a few minutes later than originally intended. Just was on a work call, so couldn't get out of that. And just reading about the attack in Kashmir. Hope everybody's fine. Sad to see those kind of things. Always bad when you have those kind of attacks. So I hope none of your relatives, none of your friends have been affected. But these days, sadly. Right, Waman, welcome back. I want to start off with something. I was listening today, the hearing in the Supreme Court in regard to the AIFF Constitution. Listened to it at length today, and listening to it, I felt at some stage what's happening, because listening to the points being raised by the lawyers, it just proved a point that there were certain people are talking about something, a matter where they don't seem to really understand what they're talking about. It was to some extent shocking to what I heard. Good evening, Girondre, welcome back. Especially, people who supposedly, know something. So to me, that was the most shocking thing, listening to it. And I even put out a tweet, I don't know if you've seen it, which I put out in regard to the thing, and I quote myself: listening today to AIFF Constitution hearing of the Supreme Court, I realized rather than lawyers arguing and looking into the case, one should have asked governance experts to draft and then get it cleared by courts. Such an unrealistic way of handling things. And it was even more disturbing, and Ashish Negi listed, there was comparisons which were being made to cricket, and then wrong facts being presented in front of the Supreme Court. I don't know is there a fact checker in the Supreme Court who checks when someone hits out at facts or mention things, if those things are right or wrong? Because to me, that was very, very disturbing to see that we had a situation in which things are being presented and none of the facts are right, and that's something that's disturbing to me. And I think that should be the topic to be raised. Actually, that is, are the honorable justices of the Supreme Court, that was very, very disturbing. And before coming to the others, I just take Reynolds' comment. Ashish roasting Bajaj in tweet saying Bajaj is not for trying to spread false things about FSTL. Reynolds, he's not roasting them, right? Again, he was not roasting them. He was just putting out plain facts. And that said lawyer, who supposedly himself says, I've been fighting for the rights of Indian sports for the last 15 years, presented wrong facts. And my question to the Supreme Court of India is, shouldn't this gentleman be pulled up for presenting wrong information or wrong facts? As, and that is the question that should be asked, right? But who's going to ask the question? I don't know. Genreses David Katala said, I don't come here to develop Indian players. I'm here to pick best 11 and to win the things. Again, one more high-profile coach made bold statement. Yeah, again, but Genre, what is the role of a club coach? Again, any club coach who says, oh, you know what, I'm trying to build this. Oh, you know what, I'm trying to do this. Oh, I'm, this, that, blah, 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 blah. That's nice to hear. But on the other side, the reality is, for me, is the job of a club coach when he comes new into a country and he has a team to coach. He looks at the team. So therefore, anyone who says, oh, my focus is really youth development, grassroots, whatever, blah, blah. Come on, look through it. Not a good evening after hearing all the news. So yeah, Vishnu, I spoke about it. Not good what is coming out as information out of Kashmir. Yeah, let's see what are the real numbers in the end. Hi, Karam. News about Punjab FC Stadium for next season. Any chances of them playing from Punjab? Karam, I think Punjab FC is trying to see if they could move out of Delhi. To me, Punjab FC playing in Delhi at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium has no value. It's just a huge venue which is sparsely filled with people. Let them play at a smaller, appropriate ground in Punjab or in and around Chandigarh. That would be my advice to the ISL. But you add yourself, of course, if we have ISL next season, and that's my, yeah. So therefore, let's see. And of course, as you say, if we have ISL next season, at the moment, as the facts stand, as we speak at 10 o'clock Indian time on this Tuesday, at the moment, there is no ISL, right? That's the reality, whatever people are saying. Good evening, Sterling. Welcome back. Mr. Scooter is living in a parallel universe. He can target anyone who speaks facts about Indian football. Kiran, you've seen even that there are still fanboys. You're part of that coaches and managers WhatsApp group. There are still people celebrating of all the BS that is coming out. It is just ridiculous. I mean, it's not. Again, these people are actually lying in front of the Supreme Court of India. They are lying in front of courts. Sorry, where is the court to say, guys, you know what? This is not accepted. So therefore, to me, it proves what I've been saying all this while. These people are not supposed to be the people to decide the constitution, and to me, very, very clearly, that is the biggest problem. You need governance experts to look at the constitution of the AIFF and then build a new constitution. And this is, to me, I mean, today's hearing, again, first hearing that I've been hearing in this case, and to me, I realized this room is full of people who don't understand sports governance. Seriously, with all due respect. And that's why Indian football, that's why Indian sports is where it is, because people are discussing things where they don't have a clue, and people like him are getting away with lies. These are blatant lies which are being placed in front of the Supreme Court. Just think the audacity that these people have, that they lie in front of the highest court in India. Unbelievable. Why Punjab is based in Delhi? Sterling, they're not based in Delhi, they're based in Punjab. They're based in Mohali, but they are forced to play by the ISL in Delhi because Punjab does not have a ISL ready stadium. Just have a quick sip. And so therefore, so therefore, therefore they have to play in Delhi. Any news from courtroom? Indian football constitution will be changed. Final decision. There was no final decision. SB Sports Extremes. Good evening. There's at least another hearing tomorrow where they will listen to things. I don't see them, the Supreme Court, coming out tomorrow and announcing a final judgment. I expect them to have at least another extra hearing after that, and then maybe come out. But I think they now, at least some, there've been at least some some lawyers who've explained to them what, that there are international bodies, and let's see where this whole thing goes. So there's no decision. What's happening with the constitution? Could you please explain? Sterling, they're listening to arguments, counter arguments, additions. Let's call it what it is. It's a shit show. Sorry to say that. It's a complete disgrace of how these people are discussing the constitution. Embarrassing to say the least. Who and what have they lied? Please, could you explain? See, they're trying to say that the rules in the majority, they've tried to copy rules out of cricket. It was said today, and I listened to it, that FSDL decides on the team of the Indian national team squad. It was said today in a hearing. Insane. I couldn't believe it. Facts and figures wrong. And I think I would go to the extent of saying that these people are trying to construct something and don't understand really how sports works. And it's crazy. Good evening, Ishan. Welcome back. Didn't see this Lovera downfall coming. No, Sterling, this is not a downfall. You win some, you lose some. And again, some of the players are getting older. That's the problem. So what are the standards to host an ISL match in a stadium? Which facilities? Certain size is required, which has been diluted by allowing Shillong to host matches. Certain standard of dressing rooms, certain standards of media facilities, VVIP access, or whatever they can sit, bathrooms, toilets, access to the stadium by transport, by cars, broadcasting facilities, capabilities. So a lot of these things are needed to be able to, and normally, again, Shillong falls out of that. Normally also access to an airport would also be an added bonus. Hi Kumar, I'm angry, sadness and condolence for the people killed in Kashmir. Yeah, I said that at the start. Maturity is when you realize that the so-called football admins who run clubs lie about everything. It's a real downfall and no one want to accept it, see it just because of their own benefits. Yeah. And so it's disturbing that these things, I mean, you lie within the system ticket, but you're lying to the Supreme Court. You're giving false information to the Supreme Court. Where have we gone? Seriously, incredible. Watch your podcast with Yash 3 years back. I can listen to you all day long. Thanks, Ishan. That was a crazy one at the time. If these bozos are accusing us like this, why will they continue with Indian football? Sterling, that's what I've been saying. I mean, simple thing, as I said to you and to everybody else, should they continue? Because they don't have the respect, right? They're investing the money. These people are not investing the money, right? They're making money at the end of the day, right? So we are in a situation, um, and therefore, if things continue as the way they're going at the moment, with also certain statements being made by the president and his people, statements that even Baichung has made, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. So therefore, it's where do we go? So can Indian players explore the option of completing graduation from Germany along with football, since Germany has free or subsidized education, of course, great football ecosystem? Graduation is a little difficult, but education has to be in Germany, right? So if they are up to learning German quickly and then doing things in German, yeah, why not? But again, who will take them in the football part? That's going to be the question. No? According to majority of people, Oscar is a mediocre coach who can only do when you have star players like Robson, Miguel, etc. Should he bring a trust in Oscar after several red flags? Your thoughts? According to the majority of the people, right? Guardiola, who are those majority of the people? What do they know? What do they understand in football, right? Robson and Miguel are star players? Come on. They're star players? Then the majority is even more, illiterate in football than I thought they are. I mean, that's the problem. What I don't see the red flags, right? The problem is Oscar Bruzon has been given a squad, which on paper, once again, I say that on paper looks good, looks fine, but is not a team. There's this, good list of individuals, and therefore this team will, and I think Oscar himself has to decide if he wants to stay at East Bengal, because it's not. I think that this team, the way it is at the moment, if you're not going to get rid of 10, 12 of those players, whoever, if Oscar stays or someone else comes in, you're not going to get results with this team. So that's my challenge, my thought on this, right? So I've known Oscar for a while. He's a good coach, but East Bengal is like trying to coach Manchester United. Huh? It's a big sinkhole where coaches go in and coaches fail. A lot of coaches, big names, successful coaches have failed, right? Foreign and Indian. Hi, my divine zone. Himanshu Jangra's upcoming talent. Hope we get a chance to see the national team soon. Kid is awesome. We need a striker right now in team. Himanshu, where is he playing? Wasn't it Delhi FC and got delegated? So Himanshu Chandra might have been someone that people looked at. He went to East Bengal a couple of years ago. But is he good enough to play for the national team? At the moment, he's quite far away from the national team. So therefore, for me, he's not an option. In regard to thinking about it's another one of those many players that one would like to see, but I don't think he has. He's of the level that we want at the moment. He has to play higher. So therefore, yeah. Hiroshima versus Lion City is said to played unsuspended player and awarded Lion City trainer. Yeah, good example, Lucky Ali. And that's the that's the way these things should be handled, right? I mean, if a player is suspended, he should not be playing, and that's the case, right? So therefore, yeah, that's the reality of things, right? More than 20 minutes. Let me remind you, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe Arunfoot here on YouTube. 9 likes so far. I think we can do better. Share it with other people to join in. And we crossed a couple of days ago the 2,500 mark. We're now at 2,508. Thank you very much. So now we're slowly moving towards the 3,000 mark. So thanks a lot once again to all of you. Well, what exactly happened exactly? Akash, which incidents are you talking about? The one in Kashmir? Are you talking about the Supreme Court? Let me know and then I'll tell you. Sir, you discussed Baichung's time at Bury FC on Yash's podcast. I saw a few videos of his goal for Bury FC summer, very true, world class. You think injuries for Baichung would led to him underachieving? Yes. I mean, the last 1.5 years of his 3-year contract, Baichung played little to nothing. So I think Bhutia would have done better if he was fit, and he had the potential. Yeah, but again, for different reasons, yeah. So yeah, Oscar cannot do anything for East Bengal. Their management is stuck in 90s. They are more focused on ATK and more on Supergiant. Yeah, one of the problems. And I think East Bengal eternally could learn how to successfully build a team. They just need to look at their women's side, right? How they've built it. Very, very simple, very, very easy. So in my opinion, only thing the East Bengal needs is a little patience. They want to create a team that wants to go giant in just one transfer window. Yeah, but they don't have patience. Karam, you have patience. I have patience. We have patience. East Bengal club officials, to some extent, their fans also don't have the patience to. I've been saying this. You will need to build a team over a 2, 3, 4 year period to be able to move up, and yeah, that's the problem. Sir, I couldn't find your Twitter fight with Robbie Fowler. What exactly did he reply when you called him out for abusing on the touchline during COVID bubble? He didn't. Did he reply? No. Robbie blocked me. It's fine. Listen, he was abusive. He thought it was, I said it. Yeah. So that was 4 or 5 years ago. Again, it's if we ever meet again somewhere, I guess we were talking about it. For East Bengal, coach is not a problem. It's more a management problem because since they entered and I said they keep doing things like I-League, and since then they changed coaches also for Akim, but none. Nothing happened because of management thing. No, I think again, even bringing in Robbie Fowler was a mistake. Yeah, and this is team building. You need experienced coaches who understand what to do, not to do, and that is, that's not something for big names. I always think. Which gives you vibes, Hansi versus Klopp, old rivalry, and Hansi versus Alonso? I don't see Klopp joining Real Madrid. Alonso is more likely, but again, it depends on if Xabi Alonso really wants to go there or not. They've had conversations, so if then Hansi versus Xabi would be my thing. So whenever I've heard keen watchers of Indian football talking about Sunil, they say Vijayan over Bhutia over Chetri. I mean, from technicality perspective, we don't need to talk about it. Viju Bhai was by far the best. I've said this multiple times here as an Indian footballer. There's no one near, no one close to him on that front, right? So, but to me, it's a nice discussion to have, but let's see where it gets us. Why Bury FC closed? Sachin, they had too much of debt, too many outstanding payments, and therefore they So yeah, that's why Bury Football Club shut down. For some unknown reason, East Bengal paid Anwar Ali an unbelievable amount of money. They signed all the 35 plus players, didn't sack Hector, Saul, Clayton. God knows how they find Messi and Richard. Yeah, Akash, just sums it up, huh? Have an exam tomorrow, but watching you live on mobile. Thank you very much. Al Nassr Game on TV and Jordan top tier league on laptop right now. Wow, okay. That is football commitment, gear on rare. Thank you for that. Who's a better striker for you, Kane or Robert Lewandowski? See, we're talking about two guys who are a little different. I think Leva, as a striker, is someone who's more of a box player. Harry Kane can is more of a player who can also drop, right? So that's the thing. That makes a difference. What to me, striker, I would say Lewandowski would be the better striker. Bury FC and Bury United are different, right? I was talking about Supreme Court. Yeah, Bury United, I think, is the follow-up club, if I'm not right, of Bury FC, sort of say new club build. And Supreme Court, Akash, I was just listening for a while and I realized there's a conversation between lawyers and judges where there is not the knowledge needed to be able to discuss the matter. Sorry, with all due respect, this is a governance issue. Let governance people draft you a football conform constitution. Give it to you, and then someone who's a lawyer or a clerk, whatever, puts it into legal speak. Very simple. This job is a 1 week affair, right? And this has been going on, and we've seen what has been coming as expose, so to say, over the last 2.5 years. The people involved directly, indirectly, and they've all destroyed Indian football, right? They should all be taken to task, right? But who's going to take them to task? Do we have a sports court to look into this? No, that's the problem. Simon, I've done that during my college semester. Yeah, I've also done that. I used to do that also on Saturdays in the past when the ISL used to run and the Bundesliga in parallel, which I still actually do. I try and watch if the matches are parallel onto screens. Don't know why on earth Oscar played 3-5-2 formation in a knockout game. It's up to him. He has to decide it. Yeah. What's next for Odisha FC? Well, Arnav, if Odisha fans would be here, they wouldn't like me to say it. I think the first point is actually to keep Odisha FC in Odisha. Right? That's in my opinion, the first challenge that Odisha have to keep the club in the state. A lot of people tell me it is done. I've heard other things. That's why I'm skeptical on that. But again, who am I to say anything on that? And then they have to rebuild. I think that some rebuilding will be needed. And let's see who, if they're going to be spending money, who they're going to release and how they're going to rebuild. I think Super Cup really exposes the gulf quality between ISL and I-League. Kokulam Kerala was not even remotely close to FC Goa. Yeah. And the gulf has been growing, right? So this is not something that's there since yesterday. The gulf is growing, I feel, day on day. And therefore, that's a reality that I think a lot of people don't want to see. And that's the brutal reality of Indian football at this moment in time. That that the ISL is the much better, much stronger league compared to the I League, right? So that's the challenge at this moment in time. So therefore, yeah. Sorry, Opala, what happened there? 1 second. Tick, tick, tick. Sorry. One underrated player I think people seem to have forgotten is now Franck Ribéry. What a player he was. Yeah, Franck Ribéry. Jointly with Arjen Robben, the robbery as they are called together. Class wingers, both of them. So thoughts on Jordan League? I found it quite interesting, competitive, just like J League 2. I've never watched, honestly, not watched the Jordan League, so I can't judge it. Do you think certain time pinpointing wrong try to challenge system, often people won't like it? I think morally people don't like it anyway in the Indian context. When you showcase, highlight that what is wrong. I think people in the Supreme Court should be happy that someone like me was not in the Supreme Court today, because I would have questioned everybody in the room. Everybody. Because I would have known, if I would have gone into that room, that there is nobody who could have discussed sports governance, especially football governance, with me. And that to me is just unacceptable, right? So that's the problem. If I look at this whole scenario of people who are discussing the case, some I felt listening to them are reading up stuff on Google, and it's disturbing to say the least. So do you think Pajinder is putting profits earned from IPL to ISL and underspent in a few seasons, but now seems to be spending a fair bit in ISL? Ishan, what part or what JSW is doing, I can't tell you. They've spent a little bit more now, but is that happening? I honestly don't think. I think it comes from a different budget, from a JSW sports budget, but I don't think that they are making profits from this side to put it to that side. No, I don't think so. So are you well? Seems like you have got a no, Simon, I'm fine. It's just hay fever, which is sort of an allergy which you have in the spring. So therefore, maybe my nose might make me sound a little different than usual, but otherwise I'm doing fine. Who should be the best option left wing position for East Bengal, Robson or Noah? Your personal opinion as Oscar prefers foreign left winger. So if I look at Robson, if I look at and Noah, Oscar knows, of course, Robson. That's his advantage. But Noah knows the league. And if you saw how he played against East Bengal the other day, then I would say, if I have to compare those two, I would pick Noah. I think Noah is not... If Noah, the potentially showed against East Bengal the other day, which he doesn't show in every match, right? And if he utilizes chances, he wouldn't be playing in India. Would be playing in a much, much bigger league. So therefore, there are reasons why these kind of foreigners with the capabilities or the potential that they have should be playing in a different league. But yeah, luckily for Kerala Blasters and for the ISL, he has not been able to show it on a regular basis, and therefore he's playing in India. Do you think making people accountability isn't a difficult India beast in his own way? No, I feel in India accountability is something which people don't even want to address, right? And people also don't want to discuss. So therefore, for me, accountability is a key. I need to take stock of what I did after a certain period of time, and if I'm wrong, if I'm not doing the best, I need to rectify those things, right? So therefore, for me, that's a big problem. and nobody wants to really be accountable for his or her actions. It starts at the top and goes to the bottom. It's a problem of the whole system. Sad news from Kashmir. May the innocent people who lost their lives rest in peace. Yes, Bharat first. Very, very sad day on that front. Do you think certain time, venue and place cause never the impression to conduct football teams like in case of Kolhapur and Mumbai? Kolhapur is not in Mumbai. Kolhapur is in Maharashtra. I don't know what the negative impression of Kolhapur is supposed to be, Murali. Noah's changed a lot of clubs. Selfishness and lack of consistency seems to be the reason. Yeah, could be. But I would say a player like him with the right coach, with the right teammates around him, I think he could have been on a different level. So I mean, Noah Saduri is one of those players where I would say, he's of the quality. Yeah. So, I don't want to be too critical about him. My point is very simple: is that he has a God-gifted talent, and he has not done enough with that. That would be my assumption if I look at him. Hi, City. How long does it take us to give verdict in the Kashi appeal? Not sure. Not sure. Normally, a case like this, 4 to 6 weeks, I would guess. Do you think that politicians could not do it in your way at any case? Not sure. Not remembering anything. Is Steven also the only foreigner who has played at a higher level after ISL? No, Ishan. There have been quite a few who've gone back to top tier leagues. Here's some news. BFC looking Tom Alred as potential basement of the season. Any relevance of this updated opinion? So it's just a market fluke. See, it seems to be that Tom Alred could be in the market. BFC, I've heard also Mumbai City supposedly is in touch with the player or has approached the player. So let's wait and see. It'll be interesting to see. My question to Mohan Bagan, Super Giant, would be why change a centre back who's done so well for you? I wouldn't know what the reason could be. Any silence, any moment in your football? Any silence instead movement. Monali, what do you mean by that? Sorry, didn't get that. Could you please elaborate on that? Tuti also went back to South African League, right? Yeah. So when Tuti went back to the Premier League in South Africa, Greg Stewart went back to the Scottish Premier League. Other players, Borja, not Borja Reda, but the original Borja from Atletico de Kolkata went back to La Liga. So there have been a few players who've gone back to top tier leagues around the world. Right, nearly 40 minutes. Once more, the reminder, if you haven't, do leave a like behind, do leave a share behind to support me and the channel. 14 likes so far. Thank you very much. Again, as I said, let others know. Join us as well. We've crossed the 2,500 mark, so thank you very much for that. And therefore, keep on supporting the channel. Thanks a lot for that. And again, thanks for all the messages after I did post something on the 2,500 mark. Thought maybe an interesting one to post, and therefore I did. So yeah, that was also a big thank you. Looks like Greg Stewart will leave too. Not looks like, if I'm right, Greg Stewart is leaving for sure. So that seems to be the case at this moment in time, that Greg Stewart will not stay with Mohun Bagan Supergiant for another season. Shocking movements in football and how it functions, not realizing what they've done. Oh yeah, Murali, loads of those decisions in Indian football where you think, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Difficult, but that's the reality of how things can be in Indian football, and yeah, has happened, I would say, multiple times, and that's the simple reality of things. Right? Have I answered all your questions today? Oh no, sorry. So what exactly happened between Silva and Oscar? Just saw on news, but don't know the exact. They had a spat, most probably. I also don't know. I'm just speculating. I think there was something that they had on the ground or somewhere else, misunderstanding, and yeah, he didn't want to work with that. Can players salary reduced if he doesn't perform well after signing contract? No, morally. If you commit to a certain, yeah, let's see. So Indian football going to gutters and getting destroyed. We fans can't do anything, and media also don't care. Yeah, Bharat first, it hurts. It hurts a lot. I would say at this moment in time that we are, you can't do anything. There are people who seem to be on purpose doing what they're doing, and that is hurting us, our football. And yeah, something needs to happen, but how will it happen? Where will it come from? I'm not sure. Very tough, very hard, but yeah, things need to change for the better. In 100 years, no FIFA World Cup, AFC Asian Cup, Olympics, Commonwealth, etc. So close this part in the shop right now. Department of Efficiency. Okay. Yeah, Master 823. Yeah, Indian football. Needs to work harder, right? Advice to Indian parents: their son wants to be footballer. I guess more really what you say. Yeah. My advice always would be to allow the kid. Forget football. If a kid wants to do sports or be a sportsman, allow the kid. That would be my advice to the parents. Allow the kid to be a sports person. Can we challenge referee decision? Theoretically, yes. Yeah, either you can't challenge it normally on the field because that will most probably give you a card or a suspension or something of the sort. But you can challenge it at off the field, right? So, but again, in Indian context, where are the sports courts to challenge decisions? Again, you can go to the appeals committee. But yeah, and then get it changed, get a red card into yellow or yellow. Yeah. Missing Manolo in comment section these days. He also brings some news and entertainment to our family channel. Yeah, Gilendra, I haven't heard Manolo for a while. Rachit, also guys, if you see this afterwards, let me know where you are. Missing you guys. Best example is Bournemouth. If I'm not wrong, he was offered a contract by Tres fresh of winning the ISL double Bournemouth City 2021-22. However, he went to Moulmein instead. Yeah. Simon, you shouldn't forget that someone like Hugo Boumous, the money that would he getting in Troyes at Mohun Bagan, the money will be higher. Simple as that. And that, for a player like him, most probably is the deciding factor. So therefore, yeah, There is nothing that you and I can say, oh, you know what, you should do this, you should do that. That's nice to think, but at the end of the day, it is about about your. Some will say about your career, but others will say it's also about the money, and in this case, most probably about money. We miss Jules Rimet era in cricket. We have old and new trophy, but football, no, they have no motive to play. Okay. I don't know what era in cricket you're talking about. Hyper Master 823, sorry. Simon Grayson didn't qualify for quarters in Nepal Super League. Yeah, good for him. Manolo was last seen on Hiranji's channel. He was just live just now. I go, okay, interesting. Yeah. Maybe the timing doesn't match. Let's see. Would love to see those guys back. But again, they will, when they have the time, they will be back on arunfoot here. And therefore, yeah, it's always nice to discuss Indian football with all its, I would love to have a show once, but we don't have to talk about anything negative, just talk about Indian football, enjoy talking about Indian football, talk about the positives. But these days are so complex, complicated, difficult for Indian football. I'm not sure where we're heading at this moment, and that makes me concerned. We're honest about it. We're very concerned about it, where we're heading, how we're heading. And things are not improving. If you ask me, that's my biggest concern, right? The hope is always something will turn out right, but at this moment, then doesn't look like it, right? It's a one-way street, and that one-way street is very, very downwards. The spiral is downwards, and that concerns me about Indian football. But yeah, guys, tell me, give me something positive, guys. Give me something positive that we can talk about, or something else on this Tuesday evening. So let's do a live with your top viewers today, whom you think understand it for really well, need a contest for the same. Okay, yeah, could be done. But if I do a contest on who knows Indian football very well, will I be talking to myself? No, it could be done. I mean, I've had once an open discussion where I invited people to join me on stage, but nobody came up. So then I decided of not doing it that way. So yeah, maybe can be tried again. I did allow people the option to come up. No one took the opportunity, and since then I've actually shied away a little, to be very, very honest, from such an option of saying, guys, come up and say, yeah. So therefore, yeah, that's nice idea. I'll keep it in mind, and we'll see what happens. Right. Any more things you want to know to me? It's already nearly 50 minutes. Heard you on Twitter a few days back as well, but the conversation was going elsewhere. Else, I feel an audio live session. See, the point with Twitter is also with Twitter Spaces. Again, I find it a very interesting thing. The other day, I just heard something, and then I saw someone, and then I thought, okay, let me join it, and then I got in. I was asked to join the conversation, and then I didn't initially, and then I later on joined in. Has its own thing, but again, everybody can say what they want, and right, is it right or wrong? Again, that's something which I'm a little worried about sometimes. But but to me, doing those things again, interacting with people, is something which I enjoy, and therefore I do it. So therefore, that's why. So a personal question, but who are your channel regulars? Simon, Kieron Rare would be someone I would call a regular. Murali is a regular. Akash is a regular. Manolo is a regular. Rachit is a regular. Aditya has become a regular. Some others have been regulars in the past. So those would be among some of the people who regularly, most of the time, Sterling, for example, a newer one, but has been quite loyal in the last few weeks, is also there. So therefore, there are quite a few people who've been coming to this conversation on Indian football on a regular basis. And and the hope is always that we figure out something, try and build something in regard to something of a better. I try to keep people informed, try to share, what I feel, what I think, what is right, what is wrong, and then then we try and take it to the next level, I would say. But that's, I guess, the difficult part is when it comes to trying to interact and trying to speak about Indian football. Brazil have 5 trophies collection, old and new, jewels to current, just like cricket. We have 83 and 2, but in Bharat football we not have jewels. So sad. Let me and also current trophies. Acha, okay, you mean jewels remain. Okay, I have 5 trophies. Yeah. IPA Master 823. To compare us with Brazil in football, to compare us with even India in cricket, unfair to Indian football because we're not of that level, we're not of that standard. I think we need to be honest enough to ourselves that football is not of the same level, caliber as cricket is in this, cricket is in this country. Therefore, we have to be honest enough. And therefore, I hope that's the last thing that's left. I hope, so yeah, that's part of it. This channel equals to real Indian football. That's why we all gather here to get real facts, news, and entertainment. We don't do gossips and past legacy discussion. I hardly saw any other platform people. Thank you. I try to keep it together. Again, we can, there are enough channels who talk about transfers and that, and I think 90% of the transfers they talk about and confirmed hoga. This transfer will 100% go through. This transfer is going to happen. And no one has even spoken to the player ever. So how is that transfer going to happen? So that's the problem. And that's why, again, I will only want to talk about a transfer if I know that it's going to happen. Or no, sometimes I even know that's going to happen and I don't tell you. So someone has told me in private. Yeah. So therefore I don't, I try and be honest to you. I give you my opinions. Maybe in the last few weeks, I've becoming a little bit more hard-hitting. But again, I've seen enough, I've heard enough, and it's disturbing to say the least. And therefore, for me, it's very, very important that that's something. Thanks to you also that we can have these discussions. Hey, Aditya, it's been a bad day since the team lost. I have not been feeling well. Aditya, happens. You win some, you lose some, and let's see. People discussing third division of Indian football. Oh, yeah, get there. Also happens, no? Some people have not the capabilities of now discussing ISL. Just here to YouTube, I think Mexico is in Europe. Oh God, yeah, but yeah, let him think. Simon is always not catching alive on our search channel. Thank you. Keep growing the community. We'll try to be regular from now on. Please, Simon, please be a regular. As Roshan asked once, there are even the options of becoming a member of the channel if anyone wants to. I said, if we've got the right number, I'll actually start a WhatsApp group on that where we can share information and grow the community in that way, slowly, as I say, and try and bring like-minded people together. I think that's the most important thing. And he was talking about transfers. Okay, that's interesting. So, the Mexican player, yeah. It's crazy. The lack of knowledge that is there. I'm very particular on those kind of things. But it's the way it's the way it is these days, and it is worrying. But what can I say? What can I tell you? That is, I guess some of you know that these are the times, and yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. So do you think David Williams will extend his contract with BFC? Ooh, that's a good question. David Williams, I think one of the most sought after players in the market. If he's on the market, I depends on what BFC does overall, right? So they've done overall good, reaching the final of the ISL Cup, finishing third in the ISL League Shield race. Yeah, but these days about do you mean David Williams? You mean Ryan Williams, right? Sorry, I just realized. Yeah, difficult for BFC if the money flows from other teams. Do you see something good that might happen on regime change of AIFF? Angry Birds only if the right people are in the AIFF. That's my prerequisite to say, things will be going in the right direction. Things can't go in the right direction without the right people in the AIFF. I mean, if the wrong people, if at the moment the wrong people have been in charge for the last 2.5 years, right? And if again wrong people come in, the mess will continue. The mess will even get worse. So to me, that's the question and the challenge that we have over here. But if the right people come in, yeah. Sergio, see in cricket, we are global king to win every tournament. Whereas in football, there is no king champions are changing. Hypermaster 823, global king. How many countries in the globe play cricket properly? 7, 8, 10. There are 211 countries in FIFA. So therefore, the comparison doesn't work, right? It's the Super Bowl is in America is for the world champion, World Series in baseball. All these sports are there. Rugby, we were speaking yesterday, but football is the only sport, right? Kazakh might be on Mumbai City's radar because I've never seen them go for 2 old players. Let's see, Angry Birds. Players supposedly also being linked with Mohan Bagan. Let's see what happens. If PSC wins Super Cup, I think they can manage to keep Ryan Williams because he said he want to play AFC with them. Yeah. Then they need to beat Intakashi first, huh? Not an easy one. So that will be a challenge, I think, for BFC. But yeah, doable. BFC also looking players from Spain, lower division, as per sources. Also, Odisha needs to sign a few better players, I feel. Yeah, Odisha needs to go in for a rebuild, huh? After yesterday. So, yeah, let's see. Farhat Temouri signed for Silla FC, which plays in the 5th division of Spain. Okay. So another Indian playing lower level football in Spain. Right. Hi Zoravar, welcome back to the channel. Lilian, if you haven't liked or shared anything so far, please do. The more likes, the more shares, more people can join our conversation. 16 likes so far. Thank you very much for that. And if you want to come back for regular content, do subscribe to arunfoot here on YouTube. I did something today. If the men's team of East Bengal are actually in a crisis yesterday, in regard to where accountability ethics model in football. Before that, of course, Interkashi, the matter, then the ISL team reviews, which are there. So a lot of content to go through if you want to go through arunfoot. What's your opinion regarding East Bengal this season overall? Another wasted year. I said at the start of the season, that East Bengal first team, yeah, could maybe do something, but again, they will have injuries and the bench is too weak. So therefore, AFC Challenge League, I think more was possible, right? If you get to that stage, looking where Arkadag is, East Bengal could have been there. ISL, I don't blame Oscar because he came in four losses already, another 2 losses under him, and then he started winning. So therefore, that's a challenge. Yeah. So let's see. Rather, it's good to see at least some young ones of our FDL are trying for lower European leagues. Yeah, but Angry Birds, that's that level of football, no? You saw Jay Gupta, you saw Ishan Pandita. That's amateur football in Europe. Sorry to say that. That's not professional football. Question in my mind, USA to T20, FIFA World Cup, Olympic 2028. Okay, why are we not interested in FIFA? We host ODI 36 Olympics, but miss. Again, Olympics are not hosting, right? Not 38, 36. We're trying to. Someone today said that India had bid for the Olympics, which is also wrong because we've just shown a letter of interest. So, yeah, we're not ready to host the full FIFA World Cup. We need to be better for that. But yeah, we could in the future. Even East Bengal analysts are criticizing Anwar, calling him fraud. Oh, did that happen? Wow, that's a big one. Yeah. DC 15 recently played at Bharat Cup in Indonesia. Good exposure. I feel this kind of tournament with primary next gen cup show that what is AIFF doing for youth. What AIFF is doing for youth, yes or no. It's not. It doesn't show because these are friendly tournaments. Friendlies also with the senior national team. You might get a good result in a friendly, but are you really as good as you think you are in a friendly? That would be my question, right? So therefore, friendly tournaments are nice to play, but real competition, real matches, so that's what count. That's what will take us forward. Otherwise, these kind of things are nice to do. Yeah. In live stream, they said that Anwar has gotten fat after joining East Bengal and has lost his zeal to improve. And this was said by the East Bengal analyst. Wow. Okay, that's a big statement. That's a big statement, and the zeal to improve, right? Again, is too much money is then too much money spoiling a player like Anwar? We need to come to that question, right? So most probably that is the issue at the end of the day, which is really the issue. Odisha FC has to do a massive overhaul. Carlos Tegalo is now poor in his form, even fall. Rohit is literally the goat of midfield, and his aura is harming Odisha FC. Yeah, yeah. Lobera has a tough task out of him. No? It's Ahmed Jahu's history. What do you do with Murtaza Fall? What do you do with Carlos Delgado? Both are old. You mentioned Rohit. There's some other Indian players who look like a little bit like Deadwood. And yeah, let's wait and see what. First of all, what Odisha FC do, right? And then you'll see what if Lobera stays. That's the second point. And then we'll see what happens to the players. Does anyone know Kukurea of Chelsea played against Bengal FC when he was in Barca 2 or Barca Ball? No, I didn't know that. That's an interesting one. YouTuber East Bengal supporters. Acha, okay. Yes, some East Bengal fan YouTubers did say that about Anwar. Acha, okay. Fan YouTuber. Okay. I thought East Bengal analyst. I thought someone from the club. what you're saying, they are considered championship. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Anwar is on it himself. He cannot say anything. He's nowhere near where he was 18 months ago. Yeah, 18 months ago. David Katala. It's true that Indian players have to develop and have to grow. On whether it's my responsibility, it's not. I will use the best 11 players who I feel can put up the best performance. I don't care if they're 18 years old or 36. This is something, and in brackets, developing players, the club has to look into the basics, are to invest in academies. You have a lot of population here, and for sure we'll have good players, but they need to. Okay. He has a point, and we spoke about it early on today, that to me, Kanata has a reason, Katala has a reason on it, and let me see what's the last one. But they need to have the basis to grow. I like to work with young players and help them develop. If they show me that they can play, I'll be the first to give them a chance. Yeah, he's come here to win. David Katala has come to India, assigned for the Blasters, to try and win competitions. That's his end game. That's his end goal, and therefore that's not an easy one. That's a big ask. That's a big challenge, and one will be very interesting to see what he can do. Big challenge he has on his hands, because he has some talented players in there amongst the foreigners, but Noah Sudhui is Noah Sudhui. Adhan Luna is aging. Jimenez, I don't know what he was trying to do the other day. I mean, he could have easily had a hat trick. So, yeah, he has to work on those. Sen news on Komal Thattal. Where is he nowadays? Komal Thattal. Didn't Komal Thattal last play in the Super League Kerala? Wasn't he part of that? I'm not sure. I think he was. Maybe reason why Mohun Bagan doesn't want to go to CAS. So now there are other reasons, and but yeah, again, look at the player. Katala will fail. Even should have been given some more time. I don't think so. I remember 3 years, and he's always had a collapse somewhere in the season, right? So therefore, I don't think so. How is David Katala? He says he wants to adopt Vasno's game style this cup. Pradeep, if you read between the lines and what he said 2-3 things. One, I want to win. Whatever may be, I want to win. So don't ask me to develop players. I want to be successful. That's good, in my opinion, given the situation of the Blasters. Two, he wants to play a certain style of football, but says also, listen, if I don't have the players for it, I will adjust my game. And third, he wants to win. So therefore, I think it's good. Soon I feel if East Bengal keeps struggling like this, they will become bankrupt and then we're dent holding football. Again, rare, the success of Indian football doesn't depend on one club here or there. It doesn't depend on East Bengal. It doesn't depend on Mohun Bagan. It doesn't depend on Kerala Blasters. It doesn't depend on BFC or Mumbai City or whatever, right? If East Bengal fail, it's a big fail for East Bengal, for Kolkata football, for Bengal football, even for Indian football, yes. But there will be a replacement, and that's the sad part. East Bengal needs to be there at the top, but if the management takes the decisions as they've been taking for a while now, they're not helping the club to be successful. Suppose we host FIFA World Cup, minimum requirements in 16 stadiums, whereas just we can build stadiums in 3 years. Just as they were hosted well, final went to it. See, Hypermaster 823, India hosted the Under-17 World Cup, and Under-17 World Cup for women. and both of them were very, very successful. So therefore, for me, that's not even a question or a challenge, right? To me, India can host a World Cup, even a full men's World Cup. But there are other factors as well which you need to consider. Who's your favorite sports journalist? I had some, but nowadays I wouldn't really go into it. Komal, is it Chennai FC one tried his best to buy every forward, it seems. Komal Thatal is at Chennai, eh? Are you serious? I don't think Komal Thatal. Komal Thatal is it? No, I thought he was somewhere else, but I might be wrong. So he's not at Chennai. One second, let me just check a database and then tell you where I think he might be. He was with Chennai B, so he wasn't under own call. So, but as far as I know, he played for someone else and then got an injury. Another Australian journalist is Boria Mozumdar. Just joking, yeah, but yeah, that we can't even call journalism these days. So therefore, that's the point, right? I think it was trials. Yeah, he was in trials. He played for them, the Durant, and thereafter he left. I don't know if he left because he got injured or he left and then got an injury. Something was there. And then, was he playing Super League Kerala or something? I think he was playing something of that. So it's very sad. If I see a player like Komal Thatal with what he's done, what he's capable of, would have liked to see more of him, but that's the reality of where Indian football is these days now. And as you say, Gavin Rare is such a waste of time. We've had a lot of these instances where you thought this player, that player will make it, but then the player didn't make it, and that's very I find it very, very sad. What do you think about Keeping? Is any good? Angry Birds, too early to say. Too early to say if he's going to make the cut or not. Has certain potential, but let's see. He was such a promising guy. Yes, Gavin, he was. The condition of AIFF pretty similar to our government, no accountability. So our it's this disturbing to see what it is. And then again, I was telling people I was listening to the AIFF Constitution hearing in the Supreme Court. That was even was very, very disturbing to say that, to listen. At some stage the ears were hurting. It was that crazy. When state association are running the state league, what is making the state association to create a social media accounts in media when mainstream media doesn't support them? The state, why do state associations? State relations have media accounts. No, the leagues have media accounts. I don't know where you bring that question up, Deepak. Sorry, but so do you miss ATK and ISL? I do miss a lot. They hit differently. Need that kind of a club. Nah, I think a club like ATK wouldn't function anymore in Kolkata with the arrival of East Bengal and Mohun Bagan at the top of the pyramid. What happened to MOU between La Liga and Kolkata football? Which MOU? Was there an MOU? I don't know about any MOU. FIFA World Cup 60 minutes. Where do you get those Hypermaster numbers from? Those there is no venue of 250,000 for the final. Don't know where you get your numbers from. Do you think the player of the U70 World Cup batch have majorly failed to live up to the potential, except the likes of Jeeks and Apuya, Suresh, Dheeraj? Simon, if I look at it at the moment, I would say only Apuya, Suresh. Even Dheeraj has failed. Dheeraj is on the bench, doesn't play, and even Jeekson had a bad season. So if you want to be successful, Apuya, yes, yeah. IFF chief was blaming ISS had not helped Indian football in any way. If I had been there in front of him, I would have cussed him from every angle. Angry Birds, that's the way they operate, right? So therefore, what to say? What I don't know what more, to add, right? My counter question is, what have you done, right? And that's simple question. Anyone who questions anything, just ask him, what did you do? And in football, most of these people don't have an answer. Nice discussion with you, Sergi. Thanks a lot, Hyper Master 823. Angry Birds in current era, I've done nothing for Indian football. The first half, I love football. Then kept things to Bengal. Okay, Girondre. Mata went to Spain and Aliga promised 10 plus football coaching grounds. It happened 2024. Yeah, but I've not seen anything. So, Bhaskar, I wouldn't know. How to listen to AIFF Supreme Court hearing. Nadeem, it has been provided to me by someone who's a lawyer. I don't know if it's for public consumption, but I was able to hear it today, and he wanted me to hear it to get to get my opinion on things, and yeah, my opinions were quite harsh, and yeah, sums it up. What is the role of IFA? IFA is the parent body of football in Bengal, so they run football in Bengal. That's their role. That's their job. So the IFA's role is to run football in the state of West Bengal, even though very often people say that they actually run football mainly in and around Kolkata. Angry Bird says Gendry IFA is the one which has trained Bengal for producing next-gen bowlers, but it's tournament lack of proper scouting. Yeah, also true. Right, 1 hour and 17 minutes already on this Tuesday evening, April 22nd, 2025. Yeah, we're back with the Super Cup tomorrow, 2 matches. And let's see. If the Supreme Court comes with a judgment tomorrow, I don't think they will, but tomorrow is supposed to be the final hearing. And yeah, let's see what happens. As I say, like this video, share this video to other people to join our conversations. Look at the older videos across, be it the lives, be it the shorter videos. Did something on East Bengal earlier today. And do subscribe to the channel. We crossed a couple of days ago the 2,500 mark. So now we're at 2,508. So yeah, maybe we can grow a little further, get a little more people into our community. Thanks a lot once again. And I'll catch you tomorrow night for another live. Good night.